Think so? You good? Thanks. Good evening, welcome. This is a regular scheduled public hearing business meeting of Valencia County Commission for October 15th, 2025. Deputy Chief Davis, would you lead us in the pledge this evening?
With allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. For the record, our meeting this evening is being held at the Village of Las Lunas Council Chamber, 660 Main Street, Las Lunas, New Mexico, 87031. Due to the fact that our chambers are being used for early voting for the upcoming election. And I just want to special thanks to the Village of Las Lunas for lending us their chambers for this evening's meeting. Okay. Commissioners, we have the agenda before us this evening. Are there any changes by fellow commissioners? Is there some staff?
Mr. Chair, if we can table item number 10, the state bars.
Very good. Anything else? No. Okay. With that change, is there a recommendation to approve the agenda as amended this evening?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Berry, second by Commissioner Richardson. Any discussion on the motion of the second? There being none, Commissioner Richardson vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Pizarro vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, is approved as amended. We have one set of minutes. It was from our October 1st, 2025 business meeting. Are there any changes to those minutes, my fellow commissioners? Being none, recommendation, please.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the.
Second.
You're getting way too quick. Okay, we have a motion for approval by Commissioner Bazell, second by Commissioner Berry. Any discussion on the motion of the second? There be none. Commissioner Richardson, vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Bazell, vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry, vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman, your vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, they stand approved. Okay. We got public comment this evening. We got one gentleman that wants to speak. We'll call him up here in just a second once we get a couple signatures done. Sean Milks. Were you wanting to speak on the towers or?
Yes, I'll just be here for questions. But I probably should be.
That's fine. It's a little bit confusing. When we get to those public hearing items, if you are going to give any testimony or answer any questions whatsoever, when I ask that whoever's going to give testimony to stand to be sworn in, if you'll do that for us, please. Thank you. Okay, discussion, non-action items, commissioners, anything? Staff? Oh, sorry. Trying to get figured out here.
Yes, sir. I actually do want to bring up our Fall Fest, but Lachelle's going to send me over the flyer real quick so I can update the public on when and where that'll be. But for now, we had a bit of a mishap. We're going through some issues with our fire admin building. So if I could have the fire chief come up, kind of speak to those issues, and then we're going to be discussing that later on as far as our lease for the fire admin. So.
Very good. Chief, go ahead.
Good evening, Chairman, Commissioners. About 2 weeks ago, we received a very high water bill at fire admin, excess of $4,000, which is enough some red flags for us. Doing some research, what we found out is that we had a leak of about 2,000 gallons an hour for 21 days. That equated to 860,000 gallons that were leaked into the subfloor of our building. Right now, we've got a pretty extensive renovation process that's just beginning. We're in the early stages, which is mold remediation. Basically, it goes from one end of the building to the other. We have some structural damage that we're assessing. The building structure itself, we've been advised we won't be able to assess for about 3 months, just due to once the components start to dry and set, The contractors are anticipating some building shifting at that point. And then there's the question of any soil displacement, I guess better known as a sinkhole, for the amount of water that was lost. What was described was due to the water table in the village being so high already, that water basically would just push into the ground, displace the soil, come back up, and that process continued for about 21 days. The second problem came in after we'd located the leak. Luckily, one of the public works employees had come to switch out a water heater. And when he went under the building to shut off the water, basically fell into a Olympic sized swimming pool into the building. The water was turned off. By that point, we were at that 860,000 gallons. We were not aware at that point how long this leak had been going on for. So we thought we'd caught the problem and fixed it. Fast forward 2 to 3 weeks when we got that bill, what we found out was that period of time from when the leak was stopped to when we identified the length that had been going, we had a large involvement of mold under the building. So kind of working like a 4-phase plan right now, I guess is the best way to put it. We're dealing with hazard remediation currently. We'll be dealing with the subfloor. The whole subfloor of the building is going to need to be removed and replaced. Then the structural components in about 3 months. And then any subsoil issues after that. So contractor's best guess is best case scenario will be out of the building for 9 to 12 months. And then that's going to be determinant on what we decide as a county with actually repairing. So I'll take any questions if you got them.
Commissioners, any questions, Chief?
Mr. Chair,
Please.
will this qualify for insurance payout for it?
Commissioner, we did file a claim with our insurance company. They sent out their first process last Thursday. The way we understand it is he's kind of the one that just gets the big picture, takes it back. We're supposed to hear either yesterday or today from them. I don't think that they followed up yet. But in his eyes, it was going to be a major claim.
Sure. Please.
So I apologize, I don't know the specific terms of it, but in the policy, so state like on some of my commercial buildings, if any of the tenants have to be relocated, they will basically pay for the lease. Do we have, what does our policy actually cover?
Commissioner, what was described from the insurance rep that was there Thursday is that it, just like your house, if you had a fire and they had to put you up somewhere, if we have to move in somewhere with the lease, it'll be covered in that time that either repairs are being done or until the point that we make a decision on the future of the building.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Chairman, just one more point
Please.
to bring up. We still are waiting for the claim approval. We have not actually received anything from insurance saying, hey, you're good to go. Part of that is because of the time constraints on the process between the initial, what they approved immediately was stop any further damage. So that's why they wanted to get in, get dehumidifiers, get fans in there, start tearing up flooring. They haven't torn up any flooring yet because as soon as they start to disrupt the building is when the mold will move into the occupiable areas. So we've had a little bit of a delay as we've been waiting to see where we're going to move our personnel. As soon as we make that decision, they're going to actually tear up the flooring to start drying out more of the building. That's the only part that's been actually approved so far. The rest of the claim, it could be weeks, months, or a year even until we hear the full extent.
Mr. Chair, I have one more question. I'm not like stating any kind of, we didn't have any prior higher bills from the water, like there was no sign that there might be a leak prior to this, or is it right out of the blue?
Commissioner, we Deputy Chief Davis and I actually went through the bills for the last year. Our bills had averaged about $140 every month up until this $4,000 bill. So the anticipation is that that leak occurred probably right after the start of the billing cycle. To give credit to the concrete kind of frame that they put under our modular building, top notch. I mean, it held 800,000 gallons of water. That was our question, is why weren't we seeing water, coming through, into the parking lot, things like that. What the hydrologist explained was that water pushes into the ground because of our soil surface. It's allowed to do that. They figured if we would have had another week or so, we would actually started to see the water coming through the flooring. We actually started to notice some issues. You stepped on the LVT, you could see some water starting to come through, and that was right after we'd located the leak and fixed it. So prior to that, no indication of anything going on. And the other thing that kind of got us was the foundation didn't have any venting on the crawl space. So obviously that water had nowhere to go. We would have seen that prior. To remember, this is a modular building that was built in 1965 that was just placed on I would call it a pretty good permanent foundation at this point, but no indication of a leak prior to that bill.
I just want to make sure I get that. That we didn't see a higher bill. If we would have saw a higher bill, then we could have said, hey, there might be a problem. I can totally understand, things happen. I just didn't want to make sure that, we had a $3,000 bill a month ago, 2 months ago.
We actually thought it was an error at first. Even accounts payable had reached out to Las Water and said, hey, is this the bill for the entire county? Because this is very uncharacteristic of what we would normally see. And that's when they said, no, here's your total gallons used. So the prior month was about 150. So it was right in the ballpark of our normal bill.
Yeah, no, I mean, things happen, act of God. I just was asking if there, if there were some kind of signs prior, but I can understand that building was holding the water in. It's nobody's fault. It's just one of those things that happen. I just want to make sure that we didn't have higher bills prior.
Yes, sir.
Anything else, commissioners? Okay. Well, thank you, and we'll keep moving forward.
Thank you, Chief. All right, well, so we'll have some good news now. So we've identified, as a governing body and also administration, that we wanted to start doing some more things for the community that are positive. We've held our Christmas tree lighting for the last several years. Last year got quite big. This year we also did an Easter egg hunt that also exceeded our expectations. So kind of put it to staff, and we talked about it. We've been working with the Opioid Remediative Collaborative, so big 3 words to put together, on working with our youth, working with the schools, things that we could do. And they identified that there's some issues with trick-or-treating now. You've got a lot of instances where people get razors into these candy bowls, drugs. You hear these national stories about that. So the team thought a trunk or treat would be a really cool thing to put on at the county admin building, kind of call it our fall fest. Something safe for the kids to do just prior to Halloween, and also just get the community out, see what, talk to our firefighters, talk to our sheriff's deputies, kind of meet, the people from the county, see what's going on. So this year we're going to do Valencia County's Fall Festival Trunk or Treat. It's going to be held Thursday, October 30th from 5 to 7 p.m. at our admin building, 444 Luna Avenue, on the South Dirt parking lot. If you pass the admin building, you know what dirt parking lot we're talking about. Admission, of course, is free. We're going to have county departments with their trunks out there passing out candy. They're going to be decorated. There's going to be some contests, kids costume contest, best decorated trunk contest. We'd of course love the governing body to be judges in a couple of those things. We'll let you know what contests you're going to be judging, but I think we're going to dual purpose, have you guys do one, have P and Z if they're willing to come do one. That way we can just get, our residents in front of our governing body, our employees, because we have wonderful employees. We want them to see, just the awesome things that they are going above and beyond for our residents. So of course we need the trunk or treat participants, that'll be kids. And if people would like to donate to this deal, you're more than welcome to bring your own trunk and decorate it. Obviously, you can get with my office, Michelle, Jessica, and they can kind of vet you and make sure we get you in the right place at the right time. And then you'll just need to bring your own candy, but ORC is going to be donating quite a bit of candy. I guess it's from our opioid funds, but that collaborative has just been such a wonderful thing for us to be able to provide things in our county without actually having to dip into our general funds or anything like that. So ORC is going to bat for at-risk people in our county, definitely for the kids and educating them. They'll have their own booth there with any sort of literature talking about opioid uses and just have some education there as well for that. But if you are going to be willing to be a participant, you need to register your vehicle by the 24th. And there is a link on our website that you can do that as well. So it's just gonna be a wonderful event. And of course, we're gonna continue with our Christmas tree lighting here in the future as well, and just get some cool stuff going on for the community. So that concludes my reports, commissioners. If you have any questions.
Commissioners, any questions of staff? Okay,
All right,
thank you. Anything else, commissioners?
Mr. Chair.
Please.
So the manager covered the kids, but on the 31st at Belen Senior Center, they're going to have a Halloween dance costume deal. So make sure that the seniors are included. That'll be on the 31st from 10 to noon in the Belen Senior Center.
Anything else? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on at this time. Next on the agenda, we have two public hearing items. Both of them are new wireless facilities by the same business, Wireless Tower Solutions. So I'm going to allow those to be presented at the same time, one right after the other. And so we'll go ahead and do that. Anybody that's going to give any testimony at this time during this public hearing, I ask that you please stand so you can be sworn in by our clerk. Mr. Williamson, need you to.
All right. You swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, or penalty of loss, as you got. I do.
Okay, thank you. So what we have this evening is a new wireless facility located at in the Rio Cuarto Valley, and another one in approximately 1 mile south of Valencia High School. Mr. Dean Williamson with Wireless Tower Solutions will be presenting those. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, and Mr. County Manager. My name is Dean Williamson. I'm your consultant for wireless tower permits. I work very closely with your planning department on these to bring them up in front of the commission. I would also like to point out that Mr. Nicholas Romano is the agent for the first applicant that you're going to be hearing. And he is online on Zoom, so I don't know if you need to swear him in, but he's also here to answer questions if need be.
Yes, if he is available by Zoom, we get him up there.
Yeah, he's on. Nick?
Okay, there he is. If you'll unmute. Okay, and if you'll, our clerk will swear you in also. If you just state your name for the record, please. We need you to state your name, please. You're muted.
Nicholas Romano, can you hear me now?
You swear to affirm that this testimony in this case will, she will give it, this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the penalty of law, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Ready.
All right, thank you, sir. As I said, the first job we have to present is new tower, a new guide tower in the Rio Puerco Valley. This is being built by TowerCom for Verizon as the first carrier. And I believe it is a 325-foot tower, guide tower. So that the first slide just kind of shows you what we're going to talk about, the application overview. I'll show you the site plans, the justification for this tower. We perform owner notifications as required by the ordinance. We have a land lease agreement included in this. The FCC authorization is a little funky because the FCC is shut down right now, so we're not able to do those for either of these applications. But as far as the two applications are concerned, it's Verizon and AT&T, I believe, is the other one. They both have valid FCC licenses, so we will add those to the package afterwards. Bonding and insurance, and then the conditions for the permit that the applicants have asked for. And that's the overview of it. All right, so these are the site plans, really the technical foundation of this entire thing. You can see from the insets there, the site location, as I mentioned, it's in the Rio Puerco Valley, and that's just a inset from the planned guide tower. We can look at the first page. This is the actual site plan, and I'm not going to go through each page unless there are any specific questions, but it gives you a layout. They have complied with everything that the ordinance calls for, fencing, signage, with one exception that I'll address in a minute. But you can see the layout there in reference to New Mexico Highway 6. Shows the fencing on it, the setback from the various property lines. And that's the picture of the tower right now. There's just one carrier on it. The applicant has included in the application that it is capable of supporting up to 3 more carriers. So they can co-locate on this tower. It's just Verizon is the first one at this point. Again, more technical parts. That's the dish that they wish to put up for a microwave relay. Okay, so the justification for the new tower, and this may be where Nick wants to jump in a little bit, but in a nutshell, this is a gap in coverage, and they need to build this tower at 325 feet to get over various ridges that they can't clear even at 300 feet. So this dish is all the way at the top, this 325 foot tower, enable it to clear mountain ranges. And this is important because, as I said later, I was going to talk to you about the permit conditions that they've requested. And one of them is for setback. This tower does not meet your ordinance requirement of the tower height plus 10%. So you got a 325 foot tower. That means it has to be 325 plus 32.5 feet from anything around it. So if it falls, you're going to have a safety zone. That extra 10% is a safety zone built into the ordinance. So it meets it on all but one area, and it's at 102.5%. So that's from the roadway. So you do have sufficient setback if the tower falls, but you don't have the full safety measure. So that's what the applicant is asking for relief from the ordinance, specifically from the commission. But this tower needs to be that height, and you'll see with the following slides that the applicant has justified that. And here's the long site justification. I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but this is basically what I've explained: is it needs to be that high to clear these peaks. Here's the propagation maps for what they're proposing.
Yes, go ahead.
So because what kind of insurance policies do you, since it's actually facing the road? Since the setbacks are going against the road, what kind of insurance policies do you carry if it were to fall
Sure.
and
So
actually hurt somebody on the road traveling?
go down to insurance, which is in here. I don't need to skip through all the slides, but the bottom line is the ordinance requires the tower to be insured minimum of 1 million and 2 million, plus a bond, plus a tower removal bond should it fall. So that protects the county if there were any type of incident that, you know, the tower fell. And I believe, I don't know if the insurance is included in this, but many tower owners go above that. They'll go 2 million dependent for the coverage. So that is all included in the requirements from the ordinance.
So, Adrian, would would it be wise to have the county have a hold harmless since we're changing our safety? That even if it went above their insurance policy, that they wouldn't be able to hold the county liable for changing the safety aspect of it?
Mr. Chairman, I don't think that, since that's in the ordinance, I don't think we're gonna have to rely on insurance would be the more appropriate way.
Anything else? Go ahead.
All right, the propagation maps. This is the next one, the microwave links studied. That you can see where they're looking to do these microwave links from and what the height of mountains are, which is on this next slide. So that shows you exactly why they're looking to go to 325 feet. And I will tell you, Mr. Romano contacted me, it's probably 6 months ago, and said, hey, we're looking to build this tower. And I said, doesn't meet setback, man. And they worked on it and worked on it. So they've worked on this for months, and this is the only solution that they've been able to come up with. So that's why we're bringing it to the commission at this point.
Mr. Chairman?
Please.
So you said that there was additional space for 3 more providers on this, but they would be in the mountain range. Is that correct?
Yeah, but that's very true. It depends on exactly what those providers are going to be. What Verizon is doing is a microwave shot.
Okay.
So that's where they're talking about. We need to get that microwave in. The next guy might be cell coverage, which is going to be, you know, panel antennas that you're used to seeing. So you may get 2 or 3 more of those, or you may get a couple of more microwave shots that don't have to clear that they just want to talk to the BOCC site, or they want to talk to this site, but they don't necessarily get over that. So everybody can't be on the top, and Verizon's paying for the new tower, so they, you know, they get the top spot, obviously.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Sure.
And I'm gonna, as we go through this, I'm gonna make sure it's 3. Nick, correct me if I'm wrong. It's 3 carriers or 4 that it said were able to be added. With 2 towers in my head, I kind of been confused. All right, next is the adjacent owner portion. And this is again what we do. We go through the identification, the comment period, the documentation. We work with your county assessor to make sure that adjacent property owners were notified. The ordinance calls for 150-foot radius. Anybody within 150-foot property line of that tower needs to be notified. So basically all the adjacent owners. In addition to that, the county publishes your meetings that says, hey, we're going to look at this new tower. So that's also the notification that happens. This is what we came up with from the county assessor. It's the listing, and you'll see Mary McCauley, Roxanne, it is. She's actually the property owner that they leased this from, so she was obviously aware of this. You have the Isleta Trust, and then you have the second one is the Isleta Trust. So really the notifications were not that contentious. It's just a mailing manifest report. Then this is the letter that we sent out to both the Pueblo of Isleta and Miss Paula. Okay, the land lease agreement, again, we're looking at this just to make sure that they have a valid lease, and they do. They do black out most of it just because they consider the terms of the lease, how much they're paying to be an industry secret. So they prefer to do that, which is allowed. And this is many pages. I'm going to go through it, but it is a valid lease. It's there for reporting purposes. That's the survey. And more just from the plan and the city. Okay, the frequency authorization and compliance. I spoke to this a minute ago. Actually, for this one, we have it. This is the FCC frequency authorization for that radio station for this tower. We got this one before the government shut down, so you can't download these now off the web. But at any rate, they have a valid frequency authorization. And they've submitted a checklist for a categorical exclusion to prove that they're not breaking any of the FCC laws, and they're not. We've confirmed that in the application. So this categorical exclusion that they submitted is sufficient to meet the ordinance. All right, finally, this is the permit conditions that they've asked for. For new towers especially, this is a very common thing. You're going to see it in this application and the next one. These tower builders don't want to go spend a bunch of money on engineering studies if you guys don't first approve the permit. So they ask for timing relief for things like the structural analysis, where they say, okay, here's the engineering report to prove our structure is going to be sound. The soils analysis, where they go and bore a hole and make sure that the soil will support the thing. The contractor license, most of the time they don't even have a contractor selected at this stage. And then financial assurances, bonding and insurance is included in that. This application does not include the bond and insurance, but it will as a condition of the permit. But they've asked for timing relief again from the commission. So these are all things that will be listed on the commission should you vote to approve it. I think I had a couple of miscellaneous things here. Soil study, again, these are their requests for review, no big deal. And then we also had to work through the county to get, oh, see, I was wrong. This is their multiple use statement for carriers total. They said on their multiple users. And then we had to get a new address for the tower too. So the county has assigned a new address to it. And that completes this application.
Okay, at this time, Mr. Romano, was he going to speak at this time, or?
Yeah, I could say a few words.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just to sum up, a few points that were touched on. Yeah, basically, this site is proposed. It's a multi-carrier facility being developed on behalf by TowerCom Enterprises on behalf of Verizon as the anchor tenant. The idea is to cover Highway 6. That's a heavily traveled road. It's like a shortcut, so you can avoid going through Albuquerque if you're trying to, go west or south or vice versa. And there's just no coverage out there. So, the documentation we submitted from our engineers, justifies the need for the site in that respect. But the height and the setback issue, I wanted to just reiterate, what Dean already mentioned, but effectively, the extra height and the reason we're requesting the reduced setbacks just slightly is because of just the nature. It's in a valley and it's so remote that there is no fiber optic service there. It's cost prohibitive to bring fiber optic to the site. And so they have to rely on a microwave connection. And they analyzed all the nearby sites, and the only one that had a line of sight was to the east. I think it's on the hill right there, just west of Los Lunas, where there's a couple towers up there. And that's the line of sight they have, but they have to clear the mountains that are there. I can't remember the name of the mountain there to right between. And it just barely passes. And so the tower is designed to have the line of sight for that particular microwave connection, but there's also some space there, as someone asked about the other carriers. The other carriers will also have access to that space if they need to put a microwave up there. and the other antennas could go below the Verizon antennas. And that's, you know, something that you know, TowerCom as a tower developer wants to make sure that, you know, it's obviously this is their business, so they want to make sure that their customers can operate a site. So that's something that they're, you know, part of their business plan is to make sure that their customers can have the microwave links that they need to provide the coverage they need along this highway. And so the setback reduction from 110% to 103%, you know, to round up a little bit, it still meets the 100%. 100%. So if in the unlikely event that there was some sort of collapse and the tower fell in a perfect straight line, it would still be on the parent property. It would not fall into the adjacent property. And it's well away from any public roads as well. The only thing it's near is the BNSF railway. But again, we do meet the, you know, a minimum setback from there of at least 100%, at least the height of that tower. And going into the question about liability, yes, there's two insurance policies here. Well, not policies. One is with the property owner, and that's in the lease document that you have in your package, a $1 million requirement. And the county ordinance also has a requirement. And, you know, TowerCom is, you know, open to, if that were a concern, to a higher limit for that. If that were a condition of approval, it's not a problem for them to insure these towers. It's just you know, it's a routine thing that they're, you know, as a course of their business, they always carry insurance. And the final point I wanted to make, just with regard to some of the exceptions we're requesting with regard to some of the other documents that are required under the ordinance. We just wanted to see if the commission was open to approving this site as designed at the 325 feet at the location. And as soon as, you know, as soon as the approval is granted with the conditions that we agree with, the ones suggested by Dean, or we agree with them, then they're more than willing to invest the money to provide the geotechnical reports, the structural reports, to get the bond and all that stuff. They just weren't sure weren't sure if they should provide that information if they're not even sure the site was going to be approved. And so that's why we requested the relief and are in agreement that they could be a condition of the approval, that prior to constructing the site, to getting an authorization to proceed from the county to build the site, that they would provide those additional documents to the satisfaction of the planning department and their consultants. So I hope that there's a lot of miscellaneous stuff in there. I hope that answers some of the questions, but I'm open to any more.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions? Mr. Romano,
Mr. Chair.
please.
So this is kind of the business guy. Part of me can ask a question. We've had a lot of problems with our fire department and our police department with coverage in those areas. Is there a chance that the county, if it's feasible, to maybe put something on there to help our radios reach farther areas to where our police officers and our fire department can actually benefit? If we give a little, would you guys be willing to give a little?
Yes, definitely. TowerCom has partnered, you know, has many tower. They don't have as many towers in New Mexico. They're expanding in this market, but they have many partnerships with local emergency services to place their equipment on their facilities for little to no charge. It's not really a business for them. It's you know, it's a service they can provide. The only thing that it would be subject to is just a use agreement. That's just to make sure that you know, to make sure that there's no interference. You know, they just have to make sure that there's conditions of use which are you know, documented in the contract. But again, it's something that's definitely a possibility, and they've done many times in the past, and it's not a problem at all.
Thank you.
Anything else, commissioners? Okay, Mr. Williamson, wait, gentleman in the back, did you have anything you want to say on this particular one? Okay, good enough. Okay, Mr. Williamson, go ahead with item number 7. And
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I did need to mention as well for item 6 that we have recommended this for approval, even with the setback and the conditions. So, and if Mr. Commissioner, if you do want to add some sort of condition to the county having space on the tower, certainly willing to work with the county to to flush that out and we can put it in as a condition as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next one is a new tower application. We're calling this Valencia High. It's actually just to the southwest of Valencia High. The tower owner and builder is Gravity Pad Towers. That's Mr. Milks, who is here. He's a local tower owner, which is kind of rare but cool. And he's building this with AT&T as his first carrier. So we've given you the executive summary there. It's a 70-foot monopole, different than what the last one was, which was a guide tower. So this is a much smaller monopole, 1.2 miles southwest of the high school. It's close to Los Marinelas. Okay, again, we're doing a gap in coverage here. Let me full screen this. Or full screen this. Okay. Again, we're looking at a gap in coverage here as the justification. And we're also having setback, not meeting the full setback requirements of 110% on this tower. And we'll talk about that in a minute, where the applicant wants to place it. But again, we do recommend approval of this one with relief request. Same overview, same way we're going to go through it. This is the site plan. You can see from the insets where it is and what the tower is going to look like. And again, everything here with the fencing and the signage and all the requirements in the ordinance are being met, with the exception of the setback that we'll talk about. This is the survey, and this is probably the best time to talk about the setback. You can see here, this area has already been subdivided. And that's what you're seeing with the circle in the middle. That is the cul-de-sac that this tower. Now, right now, this is out in the middle of the desert. There's nothing there, but in 50 years, these may be other lots with homes or whatever. So, Gravity Pad has bought these two parcels to the left and the right. That square is in the center. So they've bought those two parcels, and they've tried to place this tower everywhere in those two parcels to try to get the entire 110% setback, and it's not possible with those two pieces of land. So we've went back and forth quite a bit on the placement of this, and Mr. Milks and his surveyor have determined that this is probably the best location, where it maintains the correct setback from all adjacent properties, but it's closer to the cul-de-sac. Now, so you're of course thinking, well, what if there's a bus full of kids in that cul-de-sac and a tower falls on them? What we've asked of the applicant is to agree to build the tower to a Category 3 structural capability. And these are all defined in the engineering studies. All towers in the county are built to level 2. Some are even 1. The common thing is level 2, but level 3 takes it up to where it can withstand far more wind, icing, all these types of issues. And they're really a tower built to level 3 is what you would need for. There's definitions on it, and I can provide that if needed. But for critical things, if you have a hurricane, and this tower absolutely must survive, a hurricane or an earthquake or things like that. Nuclear shelters have Category 3 towers, so that's what they've agreed to build it to. Basically, they're beefing up the base plate where this tower connects to the ground to raise the safety level of it. So that's what the tower owner has agreed to do in exchange for asking for this setback relief. And I'll go ahead and continue unless there are any questions.
Any questions, Commissioner? Continue, please.
Okay. So again, this is the site plan. There's the location. I went through that already. Standard monopole with Verizon at AT&T at the top. 70-foot monopole. The justification for a new tower. Again, gap in coverage. So we've got the gap analysis. I should also mention where it says existing tower evaluation. So before a new tower is able to be built, AT&T has to go say, are there any other towers? And the ordinance says, are there any other towers in the area that will suffice within a mile? I believe the ordinance is for our purposes. And they did that as well, and there was nothing. So that's the alternative site analysis. Again, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is the submission from the tower owner for exactly why they need to build this, their justification, and in our opinion, it is acceptable. Here's their coverage analysis and the other towers that they were looking at to the north as well as to the south. I realize this is just a lot of technical mumbo jumbo, and but it does show the coverage that they're looking to add, and there is a legitimate gap there that AT&T wants to fill. Okay, adjacent property owner notifications. This one was a little different. There were some folks who had bought this property. Again, who own this property have bought these lots for an investment, I'm sure. But the property owners, we worked through the assessor and on the website here to get the adjacent owners. Those first two were the ones that Gravity Path was bought, I believe. Last one. Yeah, that's the first lot, and that's the second lot. So those are the two that they bought for this tower, and then these are the adjacent owners. And then there was one other adjacent owner that I sent a letter out to a few days later after we sent these, but that large piece of property to the left is actually owned by an investment company. So we went ahead and sent them a notification as well. So there's the mailing list. That's basically showing that they were all received except for that first one, and I believe it has since been received. But we keep all these on record, so it's proof that the county has made the proper notification in accordance with the ordinance. That's an example of the letter that was sent out. This one we can't send certified because they're in Thailand, but we sent it, and hopefully they received it. Or yeah, Bangkok. All right, there's Cibola Land Corporation. That's the one that I had mentioned that had that large parcel to the west, to the east. All right, FCC frequency authorization. This is where we had that earlier discussion. That's actually the FCC site with the big red thing that says some of our stuff doesn't work during the shutdown. So we can't download their license. Mr. Milks and I went round and round with this for a week trying to figure this out, and there's just no way to get it at this point. But we do have a valid radio station, and again, this is AT&T. We're not really concerned that they don't have a license, and we will get that as a condition of the permit after the government opens. And that is the radio station right there that they're planning to use. Okay, again, Mr. Milks did the categorical exclusion for the FCC compliance, and basically what this means is AT&T is complying with all federal laws, and we're really not allowed to question it. We're just allowed to make sure that they say they comply, and that's what this portion does. All right, here are the conditions that the applicant has asked for. They're largely the same and for the same reason. Structural analysis, soils analysis, the contractor, and the financial assurances. They've asked for relief on all of those to be supplied before or during construction. So those are all included on the permit should you approve it. And I believe that's it for this application.
Mr. Milks, is there anything that you want to say at this time? Just state your name for the record, please.
Sean Milks. To your earlier point, we are a local business. We've been building towers in New Mexico. I live in Corrales, my business partner in Albuquerque. as it relates to fire, police, we allow them free on all of our sites. We have 44 across the state, and this is no exception. So we have any of the county facilities need the tower to be used. We'll open them with open arms. Going back to the setbacks, we do meet one-to-one setbacks, 3 locations, just not the 110%. Of course, the one that we're not is in the front of the road there, but we have agreed to the category 3 structural analysis as well as the foundation. So with that, I'm here to answer the questions.
Questions, commissioners?
Sure.
Please.
It's just a comment, it's, my deal is all about public safety and to make sure. So that's why I want to try to do as much as we can for our fire department and our sheriff's department to try to get as much as we can for them. It's getting so expensive with the radios that we have to buy for this stuff, and it just keeps going up and up and up. And if you guys have already built in a tower, my deal is if we can jump on it for little to no cost, then I'm willing to give a little.
Absolutely. Yep. One of the main reasons for the tower is to cover Valencia High School, the 2 middle schools, and of course, the area for emergency services, because as you probably can attest, there's no coverage, or it's very, very limited out there. And we're going to work with some of the local internet folks as well to try to provide high-speed internet coverage in the area.
Thank you.
Yep.
Please.
We might talk to our IT department. They've been working on high-speed broadband in that area. And I don't know if they have a tower location found yet or not, but might be a good spot to
Call me.
use. Okay. We'll get that for the call. Thank you.
Anything else, commissioners?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Williamson, anything else?
No, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to go ahead and close our public hearing and we'll move on to our action items. Okay, action item number 8, consideration of an application for a new wireless facility located in the Rio Puerco Valley. Mr. Williamson presented that, and I'm going to take these individual because they have separate conditions on them. At this time, if there's no questions of Mr. Williamson, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Please.
I'd like to move to approve item 8
With the conditions.
as presented, yes.
Okay. There's a second.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Sparkman, second by Commissioner Richardson. Any discussion on the motion of the second? There be none. Commissioner Richardson, vote.
Yes.
Commissioner Pizzari, vote.
Yes.
Commissioner Berry, vote.
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman, vote.
Yes.
I vote yes, as approved. Item number 9, consideration of an application for a new wireless facility located approximately 1 mile south west of Valencia High School. Commissioners, any questions, Mr. Williamson? Being none, recommendation, please.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I would like to make a motion to approve as presented with the
Conditions.
conditions. Yeah. Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion for approval with the conditions by Commissioner Sparkman, second by Commissioner Berry. Any discussion on the motion of the second? There be none. Commissioner Richardson, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Pizzari, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman, your vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, they are approved. Thank you, guys. Okay, item 10 has been tabled. Item number 11. Ratification of a public celebration alcohol permit for an event at 45 Kelly Lane in Los Lunas from October 4th through the 12th, 2025 by Black Bandit Inc. And I believe Commissioner, Mr. Pato.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, thank you. So this came in between county commission meetings, and there wasn't sufficient time to add this to the agenda. So it was handled administratively. And we're bringing it to the board for ratification. The event's already occurred. Normally what we would do is we would bring it before the board if there was sufficient time to bring it before the board. If there wasn't a concern on the part of administration or staff, then what we would do is we'd request an emergency meeting and convene an emergency meeting of the board so the board could then have a hearing as it relates to that particular item. Given that there was no concern that was raised with either of these applications, it had been administratively approved and provided for ratification. I stand for any questions to the board.
Any questions of Mr. Pato? There be none. Recommendation, please.
Mr. Chair, move to ratify. Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Barry, second by Commissioner Richardson. Any discussion on the motion of the second? Being none, Commissioner Richardson, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Bazar, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Barry, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman, your vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, it's approved. Item 12, ratification of a public celebration alcohol permit for event at St. Mary's School on October 18th, 2025 by Hanamio Vineyards. Mr. Pato.
Mr. Chairman, this tracks the prior request. Again, it came in between county commission meetings, and given that it didn't raise a significant concern, it was approved administratively and brought before the board for ratification rather than calling an emergency meeting of the board.
Any questions of Mr. Pato? Being none, recommendation, please.
Mr. Chair, move to ratify as presented. Second.
We have a motion for approval by Commissioner Barry, second by Commissioner Richardson. Any discussion on the motion of the second? There be none, Commissioner Richardson, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Bazar, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Barry, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman, your vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, it's approved. Okay, item 13, appointment of three freeholders of the county as road viewers to evaluate the vacation of a road easement in Sierra Madre at Unit 1. And I believe Manager Aragon is going to present this.
Mr. Chair, this is a typical request of appointment of three freeholders to view a county road. In the past, we've had some pretty steady line of people wanting to be freeholders. Those people have moved on from that position. So we would still like you to approve the request. And if any of you know somebody that would be willing to be a freeholder, anybody, in the public, there is, I think, a very small stipend to go out and view a road, convene, determine whether that road can be vacated or not. Pretty simple process. Our public works director would be there to assist, and just a typical road viewing situation. But yeah, we're just requesting the ability to appoint those freeholders once we identify them for this particular road.
Thank you. Any questions of Manager Aragon?
Mr. Chair.
Please.
So you don't have the appointees yet?
And Mr. Chairman, I would just suggest that the motion would be to appoint freeholders to, to view the road and delegate the authority to the manager to make the final selection of those appointees. And of course, if any commissioner or anyone knows anyone who would like to serve, to get with the manager and he can put them on the committee.
Hear people without their knowledge.
Yeah, pretty much.
I had a good volunteer.
Any questions of legal or Manager Aragon? Being none, recommendation, please.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to have the manager appoint three people for this road.
And delegate the authority.
And yes, to delegate the authority to us Heinlein.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Bazell, second by Commissioner Barry. Any discussion on the motion in the second? There be none. Commissioner Richardson, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Bazell, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Barry, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman, your vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, it's approved. Okay, for the point that our agenda call for the executive session, Mr. Nance, would you please announce that?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. Pursuant to section 1015(1)H, the following matters may be discussed in closed session under real property, 1015(1)H8, county fairgrounds real property, and fire administration building lease.
Need a motion to go into executive session for the stated reasons, please.
So moved.
Have a motion by Commissioner Barry, second by Commissioner Bazell. Any discussion on the motion in the second? Be done. Commissioner Richardson, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Bazell, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Barry, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman, your vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. We will report out shortly. This time I need a motion to reconvene in regular session, please.
So moved. Second.
A motion by Commissioner Barry, second by Commissioner Richardson. Any discussion on the motion of the second? Now, Commissioner Richardson, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Bazell, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Barry, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman, your vote?
Yes.
Vote yes. Mr. Johnson, would you summarize the items discussed in closed session for us, please?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. The items discussed in executive session were limited to those in the motion for closure and no final action was taken. Pursuant to the authority in section 1015-1, the items discussed under real property were county fairgrounds real property and fire administration building lease.
That please.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Barry, second by Commissioner Bazell. Any discussion on the motion of the second? I didn't have it on. Thank you. Any discussion on the motion of the second? There be none. Commissioner Richardson, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Bazell, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Barry, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman, your vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, item 14, direction to staff regarding the county fairgrounds real property. Mr. Pato, are you gonna take that one?
Mr. Chairman, yes, sir. We had an opportunity to visit about this in executive session. I would seek a motion authorizing the county manager to finalize the negotiation and execute the agreement once fully negotiated.
Motion to that effect, please.
So moved.
You got a motion by Commissioner Richardson, second by, I didn't catch, Commissioner Barry. Any discussion on the motion in the second?
Mr. Chair. I would like, so I think this is a great opportunity and I'd like to, we have Liz, I'd like to thank her for, the Fair Board and trying to bring this for the community and our kids and everything. And I just want to make sure that the county knows what a great opportunity this is for the entire community to have an event center, working with the Fair Board and being able to have the county look for funds to make it even better. So I'd like to thank Liz for her being here and taking the opportunity to make sure that this work goes forward. And I would ask if you would have anything to add to this before we vote.
Hello, my name's Liz, and I just want to let you guys know that the Fair Board is changing over officers. We did receive the agreement. Thank you for that. I gave it to the real estate committee. They're reviewing it. The Fair Board is excited to be working with the county to move forward. So they'll get legal review and then we'll get back with you. I'm hoping within 30 days.
Very good.
We're excited.
Well, we are too. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, I believe we had a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Being none, Commissioner Richardson, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Bazell, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Barry, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman, your vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, is approved. Okay, item 15, direction to staff regarding the fire administration building lease. Mr. Pato, did you want?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, much like the prior agreement, the board had an opportunity to discuss this in executive session, and I would recommend that the board authorize the county manager to negotiate and execute the final fire admin lease once terms have been agreed to and by both parties.
Okay, motion to that effect, please.
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Barry, second by Commissioner Richardson. Any discussion on the motion of the second? Being none, Commissioner Richardson, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Bazell, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Barry, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman, your vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, it is approved. Okay, we got a couple upcoming meetings to announce. November 5th, 2025 will be a business meeting at 5 o'clock in the commission chambers, also via Facebook Live. November 12th, 2025 will be a special canvas meeting, 5 o'clock in the commission chambers. That'll also be via Facebook Live. November 19th, 2025, public hearing business meeting at 5 p.m. in the commission chambers, and that'll also be via Facebook Live. Are there any closing comments by fellow commissioners?
Mr. Chair,
Please.
just want to remind all the constituents, all the residents in the county that early voting has started. Please make your voice heard.
Thank you. And again, before we adjourn, I just want to offer again a special thanks to the Village of Los Lunas for allowing us to use their chambers for this evening's meeting. And with that said, we are adjourned. Thank you all for being here.